Hi, I'm Rob and this is Gems of War. This is number 7 in a series of videos primarily aimed at newer or early level players of the game. And in this video I'm going to show some really cool teams that use nothing but common troops. And then a couple more that use a couple of rare troops as well, but nothing above that. So all these troops are available to new players of the game. So you get these troops and you should be able to do a very similar effect to what I'm going to show in this video. Now the first set of troops, it all revolves basically around the same thing. These are all common troops here. But the new style of Guardian, which has come along the last, I don't know, couple of years now, all basically work around the same trick, but using a different colour. And now all the colours are used on this. Cunning is based on purple. Defiance is based on brown. Ferocity is based on red. Finesse is based on yellow. And persistence, where are you? There you go. Persistence is based on green. I've gone too far. And treachery is based on blue. But they all work on a very, very similar trick, just on a different colour. Now, treachery here deals damage to an enemy and a random enemy, boosted by the poisoned enemies. And if the enemy uses blue, deal double damage. This is very similar for the other Guardians, but based on whichever colour they are. And the traits are all pretty much identical too, but based again on that troop. Deal double skull damage versus blue enemies, and then the best one, the third one, give 4 to all skills on all Naga allies in this case when matching 4 or more gems. Stick 3 of these in a team, 3 treacheries, and then 1 basic hero weapon, a common weapon because we're limiting this to common troops, and then that's going to give 12 to all skills to all Naga allies when matching 4 or more gems. That is huge. And that puts the damage up. It gives you extra life, gives you extra armor, an extra attack across the board on all those troops at 12 every single time you get a 4 match. And that is absolutely superb. So all you do is pick your Guardian based on the enemy you're facing. If you're facing a team which has got a majority of red enemy in it, then you'll pick Ferocity and you'll base it on that, because you're going to do double skull damage versus red. The spell is going to do extra damage versus red too, and it's as simple as that. So one thing I would say, I've got my loadable team set up here, is don't always pick the class based on the troop type thinking it's automatically going to be the best one, because it isn't actually the case. Ferocity is a Tauros, and Shaman is a Tauros class, and for this one it is actually the best one. All Tauros allies start with 50% mana, and all the talent trees are pretty handy at the same time. But it doesn't actually apply to all the different Guardians. If I go to my Cunning Linguist team, for example, Cunning is a Rashka type troop. And if we go to the Rashka class, which is Sunspear, which would be all the way over here, wouldn't it? And have a look at that. That's the thing that messes it up. Create a firestorm at the start of every turn. You don't actually want that. We want purple as the majority colour for this, and a firestorm, load of red, is actually going to mess that up. So that would not be a thing to have. It's a Rashka class. You're going to want a class which is going to help us out. And Archmagus does that way, way more than the actual Rashka class. Archmagus, you get bonus purple when matching purple, which is superb for us. Then all these are really useful. Magical Shield, Dark Hunger, Anti-Magic Sphere, Mana Source, Antiquity, Lightning Strike, Chaos Wave, all really handy. So we would pick Archmagus for this and not what you'd think would be the associated class. And the weapon again will just be a basic Priest's Hammer, just basic splash damage and not much at all. And the banners, you always pick the +2, which is for the Guardian type troop, and +1 for the weapon, and minus anything you like, because it doesn't actually matter as long as you got those first 2. So let's take this for a spin. We'll go to PvP and see what we've got in store. Go on the hardest level we can. Ordinarily we'd pick green for this, but I haven't got a green one set up. I haven't got a blue one set up either. I've got red. So look, what we've got here. I'll tell you what, I'm just going to bring it and go with that one. So we can hit Moon Rabbit with that. We can hit Mythrillion with that, so I will change this to the loader bulletin. So it shows how you can target a really powerful troop and just take him out of the game really, really quickly. So this is not obviously ideal. Ordinarily we would have been set up to take out the opponents that have got more single colour, and you're basically always looking for those 4 matches, because we've got one already. We've already gone up to 54 damage to an enemy, and we've boosted our attack, life and armour at the same time. Always keep an eye out for 4 matches, but collecting red is super important to make the team work. And even though this does only a small amount of damage, it is actually really handy for removing barriers and stuff like that. You cast it on Moon Rabbit or the hero troop at the bottom there, and you'll remove that barrier, which is always a nice thing to do. This is where it's handy. We can get a skull hit and collect red at the same time. This is going to do double damage to him. 152 damage is really significant. Now you've got a choice. You can either charge up the second Frosty as well, which would be a good idea because these are nowhere near ready to cast yet. We'll do that, and now we've got all Frosties ready to go, and now we're just going to go bish bash bosh everywhere. They've changed that to one of them. That's 176 damage to them. We'll make sure we take out that top troop now, and we're just taking out the core of their team, like really, really simply, really, really quickly. And it's just rinse and repeat. Keeps on collecting red when we can. We'll use this to take away the barrier if we can, but we couldn't target them, so that was unavoidable. But this is a nice 4 match, so we're on 76 attack right now. Oh, and hang on 1 second. For some reason my screen has just gone black. Oh yeah, I've got it back now. That was weird. Just lost the picture then for a second. So yeah, we get him. That always hits one enemy, then a random one, but it always seems to pick the other one, which hadn't been hit in this case. It'll be slow going now because it's not being very nice to us on the red, so we may as well just do a bit of damage. One. Another boost there. Let's get this. Check around for 4 matches. Let's take him out first, because what we're going to do now is get our weapon charged. Still grabbing those 4 matches. If we can get the weapon charged first, we'll take away the barrier. And then Frosty will hit twice, which will be super duper nice. But we'll make sure they don't die first. So that is a issue. We'll use Frosty to take away the barrier then hit twice with Frosty. They got another backup, but their doom is sealed. And this is a common only team. This is all common troops. Nothing above common. Just give me some red and you will be dead. Might bring the red down, I suppose. Right, just get an extra bonus on the 4 match, just for a laugh. And an easy win. And that was against a really powerful team with literally just common troops. But obviously you change the Guardians based on the colour type of the majority of the team you're fighting, and that's a really easy way. They've set up a really, really powerful team. Now the other teams, I'll just show the Goblin team ever so quickly. This does use some rare troops in that at the same time. But again, it's still going to be a fun team to use. The early Goblin team, nothing above rare again. Sunbolt Javelin is a rare weapon, deals true damage to an enemy, which is cool. Then we've got a basic Goblin, just deals damage to an enemy and gains an extra turn. A Goblin Shaman creates 7 green gems and gives life and gains an extra turn. And then the Boar Rider removes a row, which doesn't actually generate any mana, but it's still actually quite handy for taking out a row and creating a 4 match and things like that. and does extra damage and gains an extra turn at the same time. So basically, Goblin Shaman is there, going to generate green gems for these two, and everyone chips in, and 3 out of 4 troops do have an extra turn. So that's quite a handy team. One other fun team you can use is this one here, the Fun Doppel team. As a newer player, it gives you access to literally every single troop in the game virtually. And you can have a lot of fun with this. Basically, we've got Shatter Flask in first place, steals 21 life from the first enemy in my case, and creates 7 blue gems, which helps boost up our doppelgangers. Doppelganger transforms into an enemy and curses them, and you can target who you want to change into with this as well. And it can be a lot of fun because you can target an enemy, you can play around with some troops you haven't got access to yet, and it can actually be a right laugh, to be honest. The Mushroom Banner is the one I've gone for this, +2 green, +1 purple, -1 red. And a good class is Elementalist, because you do get that awesome third trait, which is a very nice, handy trait for any player, let alone new ones. It just saves you so many times. So just for fun, let's take this doppelganger for a quick spin. Should we go for it against them? Yes, I think we shall. Fun Doppel. Like, if you fancy seeing what Flaming Onis like to use, or you haven't had access to Gob Truffle yet and you want to see what the fuss is all about, you can do it with this team. We'll be concentrating on getting up those doppelgangers charged. Shatter Flask will now create some blue, so we're going to hopefully get some matches there, and we did. We got a 4 match at the same time. I always take these 4 matches in Elementalist class because you're going to burn, stun, entangle and freeze one of the enemy, which against goblins is absolutely essential. And now you think, okay, I haven't got one yet, but let's see what Gob Truffle is all about. There you go. And I quite fancy a look at Flaming Oni. Piece of cake, done. And now we've got a team which is a lot better than the one we started with. And it is just literally as simple as that. And now obviously you have to adjust your tactics slightly because we've changed the team around, quite literally. And what should we get this time? We'll get green again. And that Doppel is at the bottom. We've got quite a lot of blue there, so this may be worth a risk. This is going to create a lot of... Going to do this, we're going to get... No, it's not going to work out. I'm going to do this. Good chance of getting a lot of blue. This has got a good chance of getting a lot of green because Gob Truffle gets an extra turn anyway. But mind getting that last doppelganger converted, charged up. But some blue there. Oh, that didn't work out very well. Like I say, it doesn't always work out, but it's a lot of fun to use this. And if you're a newer player and just fancy being able to look at some of the troops, then you can. You can pick a team that's got some of the best mythic troops in it in the game, and you can have a play around with them and see what you think of them, which is a lot of fun. Let's see if I can actually win this. These flaming, these burn gems sometimes make it harder to see potential 4 matches sometimes, I think. Who should we be now? Let's be... transform into a string fiddler, because he's pretty handy at the same time. We've practically become their team. I should have cast Gob Truffle then, really. Didn't notice him being charged there. Still getting those 4 matches. Now we've become their team and are beating them up with their own team, which is kind of funny. And yeah, could have done a skull hit there, we'll do it now. Yeah, and they're getting battered by doppelgangers. yeah, another easy victory. From starting with a rare troop, I think the Doppelganger is a rare one, but yeah, you get a few of them and you can have a lot of fun. Well, there's the video. If you found it useful or helpful, it'd be cool if you hit that like and subscribe button, but most of all, thanks for watching. See you again next time. Bye for now.